Welcome to the April LEGO Explorers. Our theme for this month is helicopter rescue. You can pull out your Legos at home, and I've got a short story with 4 challenges. So I'll read each part of the story, and then you can work on the challenges at home. I'll pull up the story. Okay. Part 1. A knock sounded on the door to Luke's office. It was getting late at the search and rescue office in the police department, just about time when the night shift would be coming in. Luke looked up to find Theo from the next door office with a serious expression on his face. "Luke, looks like there's 2 kids out lost in the mountains. When they were last seen, they had some granola bars, hiking gear, and water bottles, but that was 5 hours ago, and they should have been back by now. Their parents called for us to send out a rescue helicopter." Luke nodded, immediately reaching for his gear. "Where were they last seen?" 4 miles west of here, at the start of the old hiking trail." Luke strapped on his helmet. "It'll be getting dark soon. You can tell me everything we need to know about them on the way out to the trail." The 2 of them hurried to the helicopter hangar. "We may well be out all night," Luke said. "Let's go with Eagle." So your first challenge is to build the rescue helicopter, the Eagle. You can pause the video here and then continue when you're ready. Part 2. "Jonah, I'm scared," Maddie whispered for the 5th time in the last 2 minutes. Jonah put an arm around his 10-year-old younger sister. "It'll be okay. I'm sure home will just be on the other side of that hill." Inside, he wasn't so sure. He'd hiked the trail any number of times before, but this time there had been a huge dead tree fallen across the pathway. They decided to go around it, but found that the fallen giant had brought down a tangle of other trees with it, forcing Jonah and Maddie well out of their way to go around. By the time they'd found the end of the mess of tangled trees, the trail was out of sight, and they hadn't been able to find it again for the last 4 hours. He was sure Mom and Dad would have called the search and rescue team by now, but it was starting to get dark, and he didn't like the thought of having to stay out here all night. "Here, are you hungry, Maddie?" he asked. "Why don't you have a granola bar?" Maddie took the granola bar and munched on it while Jonah looked around. By now, it was clear they were pretty lost. When it got dark, they'd be even less likely to find their way back to the trail, and it probably wouldn't be safe to blunder their way through the forest at night. "Hey, Maddie, do you remember when we went camping at Yellowstone a few years back? You enjoyed that, right? This looks like a great spot to camp for the night. Look, right over there. That leaned-over tree would make a great place to build a shelter. Why don't you help me look for some big sticks that we can use for it?" So your second challenge is to build a shelter for Maddie and Jonah. A nice shelter for them out in the forest. So again, pause the video here and continue when you're ready. Part 3. Luke had turned on the Eagle's lights as darkness fell. "There's the trail," Theo said, pointing in front of them. "It loops around 5 miles before coming back out of the forest, close to where it started." "We'll fly around the loop," Luke said, "and see if we can find anything amiss. If we don't spot them, we'll broaden our search." "I think I already see a problem," Theo said. "They would have either had to go around that fallen tree or go back. Considering they never showed up at home, I'm guessing they probably tried to go around." "Yeah, you're probably right," Luke answered. "Let's do a sweep to the south and see if we can find anything. Get ready the rope ladder for when we do find them." Your third challenge is to use your Legos to build a rope ladder for Theo and Luke when they come to rescue Maddie and Jonah. I'll pause the video and continue for the last part when you are ready. Jonah and Maddie had built a nice little shelter using sticks and leaves and leaning them up against a lopsided tree to form a little tent. Both of them crawled inside, and Jonah flicked on his flashlight. It was dark enough by now that they could only see dark shapes where the trees were beyond their shelter. Jonah handed out another granola bar, but peeking inside, he found they were down to 2. If worst came to the worst, he was able to identify several edible plants from being in Boy Scouts, and he was sure he'd be able to locate some. If he could make the granola bars last through the night, he could go searching for some plants in the morning. Maddie rolled over and eventually went to sleep, but Jonah stayed propped up, his flashlight beam flickering to and fro across the dark forest floor. If someone came looking for them, one of them needed to be awake to call for help. It seemed like hours had passed when suddenly he gave a jolt. He'd fallen asleep and his flashlight had gone dead. He looked around blankly, waiting for his eyes to adjust, when he caught a sound out in the night. It sounded like whirring or buzzing. At first, he didn't recognize the sound, but then it struck him. A helicopter! It was sure to be looking for them. He scrambled back around in his pack, looking for something to use to alert the helicopter that they were down here in the forest. The 4th challenge is to build something that Jonah can use to get the attention of the helicopter. So something they will notice so that they know they're down there. Again, you can pause the video here and work on that challenge. And there's a little tiny wrap-up bit for the story. The helicopter noise came closer, then stopped to hover over the spot where Jonah and Maddie had made their shelter. The headlights beamed down on them. "Stay right there!" a loud voice boomed over a megaphone. "We're sending someone down to get you." A rope ladder unfurled from the darkness above, and a man came climbing down it. "You must be Jonah," he said. "I'm Theo, and Luke's flying the helicopter. Don't worry, both of you are safe now. Now let's get you two home." That is the end of the story for today. If you built some cool things from the challenges today, we'd love to see them. You can share your pictures of your creations on our Facebook page or our Twitter page, Dubuque County Library. We'd love to see those. You can also send them to me at kayla.f@dubcolib.org. And I enjoy seeing what you made from the challenge today. Also, if you'd like to join us, we are going to be having another LEGO Explorers in May. You can sign up to come to the live programs. We do those twice a month if you're interested. The theme for that will be amusement park. And so you can sign up for that at our website for Dubuque County Library. Look for LEGO Explorers. So thank you for participating in the challenges for today, and I hope to see you later. Bye.